In a surprising turn of events, Sony sent me over a review code for Death Stranding 2, hashtag ad or whatever you're supposed to do with the FTC, but full disclosure there up front. This is my Death Stranding 2 review in progress. Now, I'm about 7 hours in. I just entered Act 3, and it's really starting to get interesting. Now, long story short, I was one of the people who had heard that the original Death Stranding was nothing more than a walking simulator, that it's really not for a lot of people. And I thought I would play it for myself. I'm a huge Kojima fan. I don't talk about it a lot, but I have every Metal Gear game. I know about all of his other projects. Like, I played Zone of the Enders because it was packaged in with Metal Gear Solid 2. I really like Kojima stuff and anything Kojima adjacent. So after finally playing the original Death Stranding and falling in love around chapter 3 or act 3, when you could really start building the world and building bridges and building freeways that other players could use, I discovered that I was a huge fan of Death Stranding. So here's Death Stranding 2. It's more of the same. So if Death Stranding 1 wasn't for you, you might find that Death Stranding 2 isn't also. But the delivery aspect of the game, I think it's more optional this time. You don't really have to do that as much. You can mainline the game and just go through it, it would seem. But let's talk about some of the improvements really quick. This is my Death Stranding 2 review in progress. So, like I said, I am at about the 7 hour mark. And one of the first things that I notice is just how gorgeous this game is. Everybody keeps talking about how good the graphics are. And when you fire it up, I am playing on a PlayStation 5 Pro. It really is truly impressive. They've done some really great stuff in terms of the cinematography with how they tell the stories during the cutscenes, and the in-game engine. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Kojima really proves that you don't need ray tracing and all of these fancy buzzwords that we latch onto so much with graphics comparisons. If you just have an engine and a vision for what you want to create, you don't need those extra things. I don't think Death Stranding 2 would have been much better with those additions. Right now, it simply blows you away from the opening moments of the game. And the intro sets up things quite nicely. I really like how it establishes where you are within Death Stranding 2. There's a little recap that can get you caught up before you jump into the world of Death Stranding 2. And when you do jump in, it has a really good narrative hook, especially for somebody like me who's a dad. Don't mess with my kids, basically, right? So you're trying to protect the child from the original game, BB, and it really sets you on a journey that strikes just the right nerve with me personally. The recap, though, did have a little bit of ambiguity around what happened at the end of the original game, which prompted me to go rewatch an ending. I think they should have been a little clearer with what happened there, but yeah. And in terms of graphics, if you do have a PlayStation 5 Pro, that's what I happen to be playing on. Digital Foundry apparently said that performance mode is the way to go because quality mode, you lose all that frame rate and you sacrifice very little to nothing in performance mode on the Pro. But if you're playing on any other versions, then you should consider the graphical mode option. No matter which one you pick, I cycled back and forth between them. I couldn't really tell the difference except for the frame rate dip on quality mode. Performance mode, yeah, it's a much smoother experience overall. Now, some of the changes in terms of the storytelling, I just want to give a quick call out to one little touch. There's these little conversation options in the dialogue tree that allow you to explore a little bit more about your relationship with this person or learn more about them or learn more about the region that you're discovering. And I think that is a nice little touch. In addition, I do think that the combat and gunplay feels a lot better and stickier than the original. you really do get rewarded with a cool stealth takedown if you want to play stealth like I do. You use your strand, you choke out a character, and you throw him to the ground. I had just been playing Metal Gear 5 to get prepared for Death Stranding, and it really does convert quite well into the combat in this game. Now, real quick, I did like the first game. This is more the same. So if the first game wasn't for you, this one might not be for you either. But I really liked how improving the world and doing deliveries has an immediate impact. Even in the earlier levels of Death Stranding 2, you can put a ladder in just the right spot and find yourself getting a couple hundred likes just for doing so in the open world. And that constant feedback loop, actually, I think it feels really good. It feels like you're helping other people on their gaming experience. And that is just a really, it's an interesting loop that Kojima created. I didn't think I would be into it in the original game, but by, I believe it was chapter 3, when I was building the freeway and getting tens of thousands of likes for doing so, I was like, okay, yeah, this is, I kind of get it. And it feels like you're all in it together, even though it's a single player experience. It's really not. It's also a multiplayer experience. So getting likes and attention for playing Death Stranding 2 and helping other players, it does feel rewarding. And yeah, like I said, if you didn't like the first one, you're probably not going to like the sequel. It is more of the same. Even 7 hours in, I'm like, okay. The one thing in the back of my head is like, I loved Death Stranding 1. I just got the Bola gun, so I'm really excited to try that out, because it's this gun that like wraps a rope around people and you just knock them out by doing so. It's one of the more fun weapons I've played in a video game. But if for some reason you don't have fun with the combat scenarios, then I don't think you're magically going to like this one much more. I do find it very, very fun though. And on that relationship with BB, I do think the storytelling is really improved. It's quite clear what you're doing and why you're doing it, even though the world is a little bit out there in terms of like what's happening with Strand and all of these people that are dead, but they're still there, but they're not. The story still pushes you along. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but as a dad, I find it extra engaging, this relationship that Sam and BB have, and I like exploring it more in the sequel. I don't think that's spoiling too much because he's in the trailer. And in terms of combat, the combat is very Metal Gear. It feels very Metal Gear. Some other improvements: I got the bike super early. I didn't have to wait too late in the game, like I said, early on. So that was a lot of fun. Either I got better at deliveries or they just feel really easy. Like I picked up some extra quests for this random person up in the mountains that I found, and they were fairly close by, so you can kind of knock out all of their delivery quests quickly, and we'll see if that continues later in the game. Overall, though, the game just really gets its hooks in, and it gets its hooks in early on. Like, I'm making this video tonight, but I hope that I'm not too tired and I get to play more tonight. I find myself looking forward to getting back to the game every time I stop. It's hard to put down. You'll blink and like at least 30 minutes have gone by and you've made little progress. You've just been doing side quests. Right now, I'm just past level 50. I connected a large new area. Like I said, 7 hours of gameplay, and I'm on Act 3. And thus far, I'm really having a good time with the game. It really is gorgeous. The story is very clear and improved, at least so far. I like the gameplay improvements. Everything feels like it works better, or maybe because I learned the first one, it's just very apparent how to tackle situations and what I'm allowed to do that's not going to be game breaking. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I do think that PlayStation has this exclusive and it is going to be a Game of the Year contender, the same way Claire Obscura is a Game of the Year contender, and some others that fans have been talking about how much they love. What a great surprise, not only to get the provided code, obviously that's always nice, but also to, I was dealing with some personal stuff and I come back the day of launch and I get to start with all of y'all. And I'm having a lot of fun. I'm going to do a full review and it'll be a more scripted, edited thing, but I wanted to give you my first impressions. And my first impressions are this game is really good. I'm actually streaming or at least posting let's plays or videos of my full playthrough over on my second channel. I created a channel specifically for just my gameplay, more so that I can archive the entirety of a gameplay experience so that I can use it in future videos. Like if there's a Death Stranding 3, I'm going to want to refer to my Death Stranding 2 footage, or if there's another Kojima game or something, and then I have that asset. And if you all want to check it out, you can subscribe. I'll post it at the end of the video. So those are my thoughts. Big fan of the new Death Stranding. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. I do greatly appreciate you. A huge shout out to the members for supporting this channel. Chris Ferretti, Phil Aroni, Spin Getter, and Aries EMS are some of the top supporters. Thank you guys so much. I do greatly appreciate it. Now, like I said, you can check out my full playthrough here. I'll link to the channel where you can subscribe and link to the playlist. Loving Death Stranding 2 so far. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.